Shalom, and welcome back to Die, where I'm continuing Scholar of the First Sin, Dark Souls 2. I decided what I'm going to do, aside from display my pancake, is continue on through the Earthen Peak. I'm actually on a bit of a conundrum, because I actually have a couple of items of which to advance the story. But, well, technically I'm advancing the story by going through Earthen Peak anyway, but rather than go towards a different path, I figured, you know what, I'm here, let's just follow the windmill and get to the next major boss. If you recall, last time I already defeated the Lost Sinner, who was the previous, or the first major boss, and I see this part of the stage hasn't changed. Oh, actually, yes, it has. This guy normally wasn't here. Oh, ow. As per usual, misjudged my range. There we go. Alright. I figured rather than go someplace new, I am going to finish off the Earthen Peak and head to the most nonsensical, pretty stupid area that this game has to offer. But first I need to get this guy to follow me. Ow. I was not expecting to get hit there. Oh! That! Forgot about those poison pots! Oh well, wasn't much of a problem. Still. Oh! Oh. Point. So as per usual, we're just gonna run through all these enemies. I could snipe them, not gonna waste my time. I'm gonna trigger these enemies, right? Or this enemy, I should say. Nope, these enemies I was right the first time. And then I'm gonna touch the ladder by accident. Right, so first things first. Hello, Dark Daedalus. Glad to have you speaking up. First things first to grab this item while I'm gonna get shot at. Oh, there's a mannequin over there. He was not here before. But not like it matters. Ow. Oh crap. Oh goodness. Well, that didn't work quite as well as I planned. Okay, so next time I need to make sure they fire before I try and open a chest, which is common knowledge. But oh well, I got a new weapon. Let's look at the pike, shall we? Hello, Padak1234. How are you? Glad to have you on the stream. Here we go. This is really big. I don't know if it's any good, but it's really big. Not going to do that much damage because I haven't upgraded it. But let's take a look at the... Wow. That thing has quite the... This thing has quite the range on it. But obviously not upgraded, doesn't do a ton of damage just yet. Let's look at its moveset now that I'm not going to get attacked. Okay. Ooh, switch. Totally worth it. Alright. That works, and... This is a lie, by the way. Okay, I might upgrade it later, but for now, I'll stick to my rapier. So now we do the easy way out, just pulling things... Ah, crud. I'm not doing that great this already. Guess this is what it's like when you haven't played Dark Souls 2 for a couple of days. Ooh, I got a mask. I'm not going to be using it. But, well, at least it fits the arm. It fits my armor set, sort of. But it sucks, so I'm not going to be using it. Alright, let's go recover our souls. We basically just cleared everything we needed to do on this Oh. Well, I could do that if I wanted to. Not going to, don't care. But once I get my souls back, we've basically cleared everything we need to on the first floor. Okay, bye. Because there's nothing on the, ouch, walls there. No, I know there's an illusionary wall some... Oh, it was you. I know there's an illusionary wall on one of these walls, but I forget which floor it's on, unfortunately. Oh, right, you. There we go. Nope, just a lot of blood. Okay. Nope. No. 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 Up there. Oh, there's a new guy. Normally this was a bunch of mannequins, not a grave warden. Bye. And this is not actually a boss. This is just the first bonfire. And now here's a nice little trick. That's really real. Normally they couldn't hit me. What I'm going to be doing is this makes this place a whole lot easier. There's no tips. There's no way to show you that this is what you actually need to do. But to make an upcoming boss and the lower area easier, you somehow set steel on fire. I don't know how, but this will help in the future. And let me go back to the main floor and show you what it did. Yeah, right here. Technically, I guess I could have head to the Harvest Valley to show it off, but it's right around the corner, so we'll just head down a floor. Plus, yes, that was like 2 steps. The two bonfires were only a couple of steps from one another because Dark Souls 2. If you remember, down here there was a lot of poison. There's still a lot of poison, but that path over there is now completely empty. What does that... Do I have something broken? Because I have no idea what that slash next to the up sword means. Oh well, it's a mystery to everyone. Oh! Forgot about this guy. I might need to actually look up and see exactly what that status effect means, because I'm afraid I do not know. I don't need my bow. Is there any way I can provoke this guy? Eh. Well, I've had better ideas. Okay, well, that guy's gonna be dead in a moment. There he is. I'm just dropping down, and let's grab the item that is over here. Oh, there's a mannequin here now. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I'm afraid I don't understand. Huh. Normally, that would give me an Estus shard, I believe. So I wonder what's changed in... Oh! Lucatiel, what she's doing here. Well, before I talk to her... I could have used the stone at a different location, but it'll do fine right here. And here we have... a chest. And inside this chest... is a poison resistance ring, which definitely has its uses. Because, I mean, look at how much it changes that. 150, that makes it pretty difficult to poison, which, given we're in a poison area, kind of helpful.
Still on the road, are you?
But we have to talk to our friend Lucatiel first.
Sorry to have burdened you so. This is for you, by way of an apology. I found my thoughts growing hazy. My memories are fading, oldest first. The curse is doing its work upon me. I am frightened. Terribly so. If everything should fade, what will be left of me? I had an older brother. We learned to fence together. He became the most decorated swordsman in all of Mirror. I never even compared to him. In fact, I never beat him. Not once. But then, one day, he was gone. Lost without a trace. Now I'm certain that he was taken by the curse. If only someone would hear my tale. My brother must have come here, too. Soon I may forget even about him. If only someone...
Just in case you're wondering, there are no happy ends in Dark Souls 2. Or any Souls game, as a matter of fact. So, yeah, unfortunately, our friend Lucatiel is suffering the same fate as every undead, which is almost everyone in the world, if you want to go by the lore of this game. And once an undead loses their purpose in life, they lose all memories, and once they lose their memories, they turn into hollows, which are basically all those people I keep killing. So that's unfortunate, but we have continued her quest line, which means eventually we will summon her for a boss and continue it again, because every NPC that fights continues their quest line with every boss kill. Ah, whoa. Well, that was surprising. Didn't really work, but it was surprising. Where'd the other guy go? Huh. Well, they never did that before. He says. Just getting that trap out of the... Oh, there. Normally the mannequin's over here, not over there. Oh, look, I got a mask. I'm not going to be wearing it because... Ooga booga. And somehow! Even uglier than my penal mask that I'm currently wearing. And that was very rude, stabbing me in the back while I was talking, no less. Oh, wow, I see why they did it, because now I have no choice but to go up, rather than through the door like I used to be able to. Still, kinda sucks. Alrighty then. So let's... Yeah, that's not gonna work. Okay, they're still over there. Oh, hello! By the way, that's what I like about pierced weapons, is you can attack even when blocking. Where am I from, Paddock? I am from New Jersey, even if I don't sound it, and that's because I don't have my accent on at the moment. Because I find a lot of people don't really like it when you start talking like this, because not a whole lot of people are very fond of the northern accent, if you know what I mean. So I figure it's easiest just to never have it on whenever I'm trying to stream, because I kind of like people understanding what I'm saying, you know? I didn't mean to do that. There we go. Knew there was an illusionary wall. Hi. Hi. That is a pretty good ring, if I was a spell... Actually, is this the defense? Yep, that's a good ring, actually. Defense boost, very nice to have. Ignore the dancing sword. There we go. Okay, that path is going to be where I need to go. Which, because I need to... Oh, hi! Oh! Oh, oh. Oh, that wasn't very nice. Oh, oh, crap. Wasn't expecting that one. Well, I think that was my first death in a little while, so I guess I was asking for it. Let's see if I can... Oh, he has the way entirely blocked, so never mind. Oh boy. Oh, this is not quite going as planned. And there went all my cells. Paddock, I said I am from New Jersey. Which I know isn't very easy to tell because of the fact I am not speaking in my native accent because a lot of people aren't too fond of the northern way of talking. And so to make life easy for everyone, I just talk with this, I guess, non-accent? I guess? Alright, let's... Oh, hi. God! Son of a bitch. I really hate mannequins in this place. I've never had this much trouble with them before, but I've never had so many of them frickin' ambush me at once. I wonder if they still despawn after a little while, like they do in... they did in the original Dark Souls, too. Normally, enemies would despawn after 15 kills, I believe it was. Alright, where are these assholes jump down so that I can kill them? Right there, okay. There we go. Yeah, I got boots, not like I need them. Oh great, more of them? There. Well... There. Yeah, I guess we could call it official English. All I know is that a lot when I first moved down here, because I currently live in the southern United States, no one understood a single word that I said. Which, after a lot of practice, I wonder if I can... Well, I could, but that didn't do anything. There. So it took a lot of practice to lose my northern way of speaking. And now it tends to only come back when I get really frustrated. Ooh. A knife. Where would my knives be? Up here? Oh, looks like it has nice bleed on it, if you are into that sort of thing. I'm not. Babarjan, you want to hear me talk without trying to make sure I'm easily intelligible? Well, I can certainly do that, but it might take a little bit of work for me. Ah, not again. Shite. There. Anything? No, there ain't. Alright. The thing with the main way of talking is, when you talk with a northern accent, a lot of people aren't exactly fans of the fact that you can't pronounce the ERs, or ARs, or anything that follows with an R very well. Such as shower, quarter, things of that nature. You can't forget the fact that I gotta say Joy. I had trouble saying anything beyond Joyzy. This is what I was looking for when I went over to this corner. Is this guy right here? He's a complete joke, but we're gonna be talking to him in a little bit. We're gonna keep going over and grabbing this item first, though. No! 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 There was a zombie in my way. That was a friggin' zombie. I didn't notice him, evidently. So let's go back up. Let's run past all these friggin' guys. Go back here, make sure no one presses the door. There, that's all of them done. Ugh. I honestly wasn't expecting him at all. That's kind of why I fell off the friggin' edge. So now we're going to talk to this guy. I might need to pop a couple of souls in order to... because he likes money, or souls in this game. Souls are the currency, of course.
Shush. You idiot. Stay quiet. I'm on the run. Don't give me away. You're a fugitive too, eh? Yeah? Why else would you be here? It's got death written all over it. You want to climb down here? I can lend you a ladder. But, how much can you offer me? Why, have you no gratitude? Downright rude, really. I've got a soft heart, so I let you off. This once.
Oh, I do got enough souls. That's good.
All right. It'll be just a moment.
Right, so this is really the guy's only use, is he gets you ladders.
Go on ahead. I won't offer this deal twice.
But you want to have a lot of souls at this point anyway, because the items that he sells are fairly good. Well, good if you're into bleeding and stuff. But it's actually cheaper to buy him here than when he goes to town after I'm done talking to him. Like, I'm gonna want this for something much later down the line. Otherwise, I'm...
All the best.
Almost fell off the ledge there. I kinda don't want to do that. So let's burn a couple of these souls until I got 7k, I think it was. One more. Actually, no. I'm gonna buy his entire armor set. I want this and all of these. Oop, not that. This, this, this. These are kinda good if you're a dex build and you want to punch stuff. But I'm sticking to spears. This is actually a fairly good strength weapon. This is a whip. And that's a bad shield.
No, mate. These deals, they won't last forever.
Yeah, once he leaves, his price is raised. That's why I bought everything right here. Now we do the lore.
Have you heard? Well, apparently, there's this monster lady, right? And the poison, well, does wonders for her body.
This is a tip on that you need to get rid of the poison.
Health and beauty and that sort of stuff. And I thought only human women were so petty. That creature, she was human once, you know? Yeah. In fact, she was wed to the prince of that nearby castle. But her husband, he had feelings for another. Hoping that it would restore the prince's affection. You see what I mean? Before long, the princess's ire transformed her into a monster. Now, listen here. When do you think this all happened? Long ago, when this very land was called something else. We say Drangleic now, but countless kingdoms have risen and fallen on this very spot. And this won't be the last. Oh no. That damned hag just can't let her old flame go. She's going to get us all burned.
Oh, I guess they do sort of give you a hint about the windmill right there. He's talking about poison that benefits the boss and fire. But I guess the game sort of expects you to make that
God
connection.
Almighty. I'm not going to die in this dump. God.
Alright,
Find it.
that's everything we need from him. So what amazing item did I just spend 2,000 souls to get? Oh, a lockstone. I'd say that was worth it. And Twinkling Titanite. Twinkling Titanite is used for special weapons, not boss weapons. This guy's now useless to us. We won't need to talk to him for quite some time. Oh, right, over here. And now we are at the very last stage of Earthen Peak. I'm pulling that ladder up so I can grab this item, and now get the heck out of the way before it crushes me. There we go. I'm gonna be riding that elevator in just a little bit. I wanted the item underneath it first, though. Oh, that guy never approached you before. No, no, no ladder. No ladder. There we go. This is the purpose of the elevator now. Oh. No. Evidently I can cancel out of picking stuff up. Or pulling levers. Oh. Ooh. How rude. That was a shield. It's not an amazing shield. I mean, look, it's worse than my frickin' leather shield in pretty much every possible way, and there's only one way down. Another use for the silver cat ring. That could have killed me. If I wasn't using it, of course. Right, so, right. We got something over here. This is our friend. We fought the very first boss with him.
We went through a lot together. Take this as a token of our friendship.
That's why we brought him into the battle with us.
Don't be shy. They were meant for you. Well, there's treasure this way, but I have a bad feeling about it. I don't quite have the guts myself. Well, there's treasure. I don't quite have it.
Hello, Grievous. Yes, it is a lot of stuff. Most of it isn't very good. I mean, his spear... Where is it? His spear is actually really good. It's also really big. It's basically the pike, only better in basically every way. So I might actually upgrade Pate's spear and use that in place of my winged spear in a wee bit. And let's look at his armor. I have no idea why I struggled with that. One major thing about the Dark Souls games, a lot of its lore is hidden in the item descriptions. Like, look at how what this one reads. Although they appear to be common gloves, they have in fact been meticulously customized, belonged to mild-mannered Pate. They have been considerably altered. Perhaps they were pillaged. Gives you a little backstory on our little friend over there in the corner. But he ain't a bad guy. Or is he? Dun, dun, dun. We can't open that door, that's why we're going around the corner over here. We got this guy. we kill this guy. We got this over here. Oh, right. I don't want to go over there just yet. Should be... Whoa! Knew it. Well, that didn't work. That didn't work at all. Okay. Take two. Over here. Kill this guy. Trigger these guys. Alright, calm down. So I'm gonna need to be a little bit more cautious with that lady, it would appear. In other words, I'm going to cheese her with a bow. Yay, new piece of armor, not gonna use it. There we go. Hey, souls. Alright, I forget, is this a... Well, there's no blood stains. Typically, you want to make sure what you're about to open is not a mimic chest. And the way to look for that is typically there's blood stains. No, but this is a trap. Ooh. Luckily, I got poison moss, so I'm not worried about poison. And another lockstone. Wow, I got a lot of those in a short amount of time. That's really good. Something useless. And... Oh, whoa! Oh, that was very rude of him, I would say. Oh, die! Thank you. Alright, normally there's a sorceress over here, but instead there's this guy. What if I can bleed him? Nah, looks... Alright, so I can't cheese this guy, unfortunately. Okay. But I can always do that. Alright, so that is the door that leads to Pate. That is where the treasure that he was talking about is. What I can do is, well, I'd have to jump back across. But I want this item down here. Which means silver cat ring and praying. I missed. You need to land on the beam. I missed the beam. Yeah! I am many things, good at things of that nature, notwithstanding. Yeah, it would not be welcome to die if I never died. So now we have to make our way back around. I do not want to lose that item. I don't like losing out on items. So come on, let's do this whole thing again. There we go. I wonder if my rapier can stun these guys while I kill them. I'll find out in a sec. in a sense, it kind of works. Alright, where's my... Ah, crap, my souls are... Oh, not you again! Ugh. Alright, so once again, I gotta make this jump. Thank you. What the... That wasn't as broken before, was it? Was it? That was... Huh. Okay. Alright, souls gained. Okay. Alright, let's try this one more time. Ooh, ooh. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. That's what I was going for. Suck it, Mario. Oh, and they even gave me a free effigy for the fact I fell to my death. And now, to get out of here, the lazy way. Now, let's continue on with this area. That's pretty much most of the stuff gathered that I need and or want. Alright, don't need the cat ring anymore. This is always one of the most useful items in the game because of how little fall damage you take with it on. Always recommend picking it up whenever you can. Alright, that's that done. That's a trap that we're not worried about. We are now heading to the final... Alright, where's... Ah, there you are. We're heading to the final bonfire, which is up there. There's the boss room that we're heading towards. And, oh yeah, that was where the illusionary wall was. That is a lot of poison. Normally there's a sorceress hiding out around here. Huh, they moved the sorceresses. Except that one! Whoa, hello! And they included a shadow. How nice. Let's see, yeah, there's... This is an item room filled with bugs. Evidently, bugs not a threat. I don't know what I keep hearing, but I don't like it. Oh! That would have sucked if that broke the poison. By the way, that is a troll Pharaoh's Lockstone. Up there. If there's a little pool in front of it, it's a troll. Don't even waste a Lockstone on it. You have a very finite number of the things, and they're there specifically to troll you. This is what I was referring to. See, all these... Yeah, right there. All these bloody stains right here tell you that there's something here that you don't want to mess with. And if you can tell, it has a different colorization. And there is a lock. All these are signs of a mimic. And that's how you kill a mimic. They're not a threat if you attack them from the side like that. I don't think you ever got the work hook there. But these dark gauntlets is actually a fairly decent piece of armor. It's heavier than what I have on. Doesn't necessarily clash either. Fashion souls. Can't wear anything that doesn't work. But that hook... Let's see here. I now have a hook. Which only means one thing. Do what you want because a pirate is free. You are a pirate. Yar har. I'll stop. Because everyone should know that by now. And now, if you can hear that sound, we got a bonfire right around the corner. Huh. Normally there's there's enemies up here. Oh, by the way, it's hidden behind a illusionary wall, as a lot of things are. That's another chest. And as you can see, there's no lock, therefore, no mimic. And I got a petrified something. Really, really good. I really don't like that they got rid of the... Normally you would get invaded right here. And evidently that is no longer the case. I am somewhat sad. But I'm not going to complain. I wonder, is there anything else they've added? Nope, okay. So, that's basically everything here, so last thing to do is trigger the shadow again. Oh! He has quite the range. And evidently, he's hard to hit. There we go. Kill him. She's the sorceress. I'm kind of saddened that they got rid of all the sorceresses here. And now... Yep, trigger that. There we go. Oh, there's corpses down there. These guys are a little fancier, as you can probably look at their armor. Because they are guarding the boss. That was some very fun frame rating on my part. Alright, let's see. I'm sorry, Dark Daedalus, who, I'm not seeing anyone in the chat named that, unless he was talking. Oh, by the way, there's nothing under there. You can't get there. Alright, so that's the boss. We're not going to head to her just yet for the typical reason of going human and looking for new summons. Alright, the Jester is still there. This is a player. Jester Thomas is a badass, and you will see why in just a moment. And what's up here? Player and player. Okay. So let's show you a rather interesting boss in the form of Queen Mytha. Or Mytha the... I parried her? Holy shit! I parried the queen! I didn't even know that was possible! That's awesome! That's freaking awesome! That is why Thomas is awesome as hell. All he does is run around with two flames and throw lots and lots of fire at the boss for me. Which makes this, admittedly, a relatively easy fight. And this, if you want to know why you wanted to set the windmill on fire, if I did not set the windmill on fire, this entire area would be poisoned, and she would heal while in said poison. And that's another boss down. You can make some really good items with your souls if you're into poison, by the way. And before I continue on here, yeah, this is going to take us to the next area. Before we continue on, I want to show you a little something that always makes me feel a little strange. Ah, I see. I'm afraid I'm not too familiar with that screamer, unfortunately. But let me show you. I'm afraid I have to run all the way over here to show. But I'm not certain if you remember that there is nothing surrounding the windmill, right? If you look out here, there is nothing but poison and this tiny little cliff face. Oh, there's a poison moth over there. Cool. Didn't know that. But if you look, so there's basically a windmill surrounded by mountains, which, you know, seems fine in and of itself. But then we come over here and run past Mytha. As my chubby little armored character has to jog, we have an elevator. This is a lot of people's complaints about Dark Souls 2. This elevator, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Because up and up we go, and look at the terrible V-Sync. We're going up and up and up. We were already at the top of the windmill, yet somehow we keep going up. And when it's all said and done, we are now in lava. How? How does this happen? I heard a summon sign. Oh, right here. Yeah. That is a player. Alright, here's our bonfire, but yeah, we just went up. We teleported from the top of a windmill into some castle surrounded by frickin' lava. That doesn't make any sense at all. I don't understand. In fact, no one understands, and this is one of the complaints everyone has about this game, and that is a knight who was evidently very easy to kill. I can attest to that. But, yeah, so no one understands why the Iron Keep is where it is, because lore-wise and... What? 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 I really hope this is an NPC, because this person looks weird as heck, and is using armor that they shouldn't be able to use at this stage in the game. What the? Oh, right, that's the, that is a sword that I typically won't see for quite some time. Yeah, this is definitely an NPC. Certainly an unusual place to get... If it's an NPC, then... Sorry, I'm not going to lose to an NPC. Oh, right, I need to... Oh, right, actually, now I remember why. I haven't spent my souls, in case you're wondering, because there's a merchant right around the corner that I need to buy a lot of stuff from. Yeah, yes, Grivrix, that's as good as that's a good as explanation as you're ever gonna get from Dark Souls. Where's all the... Oh, well, here's another Iron Knight. Ow. These guys have a fairly decent armor set, if I'm lucky enough to get it, and they drop one of the best dexterity weapons in the game in the form of the katana that they're using. hopefully I'll be lucky enough to get one, even though I'm not going to use it at all. This is the guy I was talking about. He looks like a schmuck.
What? Who are you? Who, me? I'm Magarode. Who else? What? Have a look at my wares. I'm mainly a treasure hunter, you see. I'm only a merchant on the side. Around about, looking for a find, following me instincts. I don't care what a thing's worth. What matters is whether it grabs me. Do I enjoy what I do? Well, that's a good question. I suppose I must. I've been doing it for ages. There's good iron in these parts. An old king even used it to build a castle. But the thing was too heavy. It slowly sank into the ground. Fire spouted from the earth, and the place turned into this. At least, that's what I've been told. What a bad story, eh?
So he builds a giant castle out of iron, it sinks into the ground, I take an elevator up from a windmill, and I find my way into a castle that went down. Dark Souls.
Hey, you know that old fella with the hulking blue sword? He talks really highly of it. I got a feeling it's a fake. I didn't want to disappoint him, so I just sort of talked around it. Let me just say, there are lots of legendary swords out there. Have you heard of the shrine on the eastern edge of Drag Lake? Built to honor the dragons, they say. If only I knew how to get there. I'd go and I'd comb it for goodies. I'm mainly a treasurer. I don't care doing.
Alright, that's everything from him. In case you're wondering, this incense, if you remember all that spice and stuff that I keep picking up, it actually lowers the stats required to use certain spells. That's completely useless to me because I can't use magic. And now what I'm going to do with this guy is buy a lot of stuff, because once you buy a certain amount, he should...
I think we have some... Here. You
This.
should like these.
That ring is one of the best farming rings you can get in the game. And he also sells this cap, which does the exact same thing. And the Jester set, while it makes you look like a complete and utter ninny, is something a lot of people use because of this one right here. For farming purposes, though, I'm gonna... well, farming and fashion purposes, I'm gonna buy the whole set. There we go.
Cheers.
And that's basically everything we need from that guy. In case you're wondering some of the things I bought,
Hello. Thank you. I'm sorry. Very good.
yeah, that's all they're for. Oh yeah, another lockstone. That's nice. And this is another reason we are going over this way. Oh, there used to be a treasure chest right here. Looks like they got rid of it. That makes me sad. But this is a little roundabout way to prevent an ambush, because you can just do that. Otherwise, you'd have a group of guys right here waiting for you. But by going around, they can't do that. Hi! Nice. I don't... Yeah, unfortunately, the leggings, while really good armor, doesn't really match my style, so we're not going to use it. By the way, this next area, pretty loud. Oh, that's not very nice. And there should be, there's that archer right here. There should also be one, oh no, they moved him. Huh. Oh! We'll be returned to that guy in a sec. Oh! Okay, I'm not a huge fan of the changes to this place. Oh boy. Well, at least I'm not getting shot from that corner, but I have to get all the way over here to kill this guy so that I can pull that lever down there on the bottom. And he... Ow! Hurts. Okay, I didn't need to get this item, but it helps. Alright, so now... Alright, that's where I dropped down. That's where the guy is. Why fight him when you can just throw him off a ledge into lava? Aha! Invincibility frames. And if memory I wonder if I can stun this guy. Ow. There we go. Sniper duel, and my dogs are annoyingly barking because why not? So I'm going to mute my mic for a sec and see what the hell they're doing. I should be in a safe place, so I apologize if staring at a pulled lever isn't that interesting. I hate dogs. Which explains why my parents went, "We're going on vacation, and we're going to make you look after our dogs." Because parents, evidently. Oh, hi. Okay, that's one thing I needed. Now to create a shortcut. Oh, I thought this guy fell off the edge. That would have made life so much easier if he did that. Oh, you're not dead yet. Is there any way I can get you to attack and fall? There we go. I'm so glad that worked because I was almost dead. Alright, now I need to get this lever. Now, if I was in New Game Plus, there'd be a lot of enemies in here. Well, at least in the original Dark Souls. I don't know what it'll look like in New Game Plus for this version. But now, if I wanted to... Oh, right. Helps if I... Now, if I wanted to, this shortcut lets me completely skip the boss. So if I don't want to fight the boss, I can just I can just take that ladder, and the boss that I'm about to face is so bad that a lot of people actually do it. I'm not going to be one of them, though. So instead, I need to... Oh, I need to heal, first of all. I'm not gonna fight him without more Estus, I'm afraid, though. Oh, hello! Whoa! Oh, you gotta be... Where the hell did they come from? I want to at least complete this boss before I end for the day. Because no one likes... Actually, you know what? Here, this will help me out a little bit. This is the lightest weight you can get for a 100% blocking shield, by the way. So I'm going to put it on from now on, most likely. Blech. I don't know where those jerks came from. All I know is that they evidently kicked my butt. And there's a guy up there. And what the? Another one? Another one? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, come on! With the Allen Knights around? That is bull. At least the NPC fights are a little bit more interesting this time around. By the way, if you guard break someone, you then get to parry them like so. I shouldn't have done that. While they're a lot more interesting, I still don't like them any. But at least I can do that. Oh, I'm out of stamina. That'll explain that. Are there any more NPCs that are going to join me? Because, as amusing as that is, I'd kind of like to hold on to all my Estus. Thank you, please. Let's grab another life gem. And let's make this run one more time. Oh, by the way, that item, you need to do a lot of preparation to get those items, which I have not done. So I'm basically going to be ignoring it. Oh yeah. New item. Looks nice, not going to be using it. Alright, let's see if another NPC decides to invade me. Really, there's two reasons, ow, I don't want to avoid that boss fight. One, I don't like losing out on boss equipment and souls. And two, because there's an NPC that I can summon for the boss, and I hate missing out on boss fights with NPCs. That's the primary reason. So technically, I'm skipping the boss bonfire that you don't get to if you don't fight the boss, as I run away like a little sissy. So there is a reason for all these guys here, but it doesn't make them any less irritating to fight. Blech. I wonder if my rapier would do anything for him. Well, it hurts, but... And also, I really don't like missing out on boss fights themselves, because even though the boss is a major pain in the ass, I still like, you know, at least having them killed. While is that guy shooting at me? No, he isn't. Okay. And so because of that, I refuse to avoid the boss, no matter how much I hate, ouch, him. Even though it'd probably be better for all parties involved if I did. Ow. I have a lot of life gems. It doesn't really punish you if you don't fight the boss that I'm heading towards. But listen, since I don't like missing out on bosses, boss souls, items, anything like that, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me to avoid fighting him like a lot of people do. No, 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 no! Oh, come on! Come off it! Really? Really? Okay, there's only one thing left to do. Where's my poison arrows? I need more poison arrows. And come on, get poisoned. Get poisoned. There we go. That's because I don't like the guy. Yeah, you don't get stuff from the smelter, from the boss if I avoid him. Because you kinda have to kill a boss if you want his stuff. I'll take that trade. But before I go over there for the boss, Oh! Oh! That's neat. There used to be a gap here that you would have to jump across. But evidently they decided not to do that. So now instead it looks like I need to make this jump. I wonder what this is. Because normally this enemy... Or the enemy, it's dead, it's not an enemy, would give you the ember that I got a while ago, which is what allowed me to talk to Macduff in the Bastille. And now it was a dragon bone, which lets me upgrade boss weapons. I don't worry about boss weapons just yet. Nope, okay. But I'm about to show... Wow, I have a lot of souls. I probably screw the Zweihander. Alright, so this... Let me show you the boss and why he sucks so much. It might be kind of a close fight because I don't actually have a ton of life. But, yeah, I want to bring in Lucatiel. Before I do that, though, I should have something... Yeah, some stuff to put on my weapon to make this fight easier. Because the boss is poisonable. Come on, Lucatiel. This boss sucks. Nobody likes the Smelter Demon. Not even the Smelter Demon likes the Smelter Demon. But at least he's an easy enough fight. Which means I'm probably going to get my ass kicked for saying that. Alright. He also has 3 stages. And each one, he does a bit more damage. Hello, adventurous things. I apologize that I'm not going to be able to talk all that much. We are now into the 3rd and final phase. And in case you're wondering why I am two-handing my rapier, There is no reason at all for me to try and block this guy's attacks. Go on, turn around. Attack Lucatiel, thank you. Yes, I am. Adventurous things. I am fighting the Smelter Demon, the most hated boss in Dark Souls 2. It's also very, very loud. Come on, leave yourself open. Thank you. Lucatiel, what a trooper. Lucatiel of Mira is an NPC. She's probably one of my favorite NPCs in the game. And I like using her for boss fights because she evidently could tank a giant demon made of fire and iron. And now with that completed, this is also why I didn't want to avoid the boss. I have a bacon shield. This shield is absolutely terrible, but it has a pig on it, which that has to have brownie points somewhere. And now before I continue on, once again, while I need to go that way, by resting, there should be a nice little surprise waiting for me down here where I fought the Smelter Demon. Yep, it's our buddy, the Pursuer, once again. I think this might actually be the last time we're going to be facing him, unfortunately. It doesn't really make the bosses too easy, as it gives the bosses a damage and health bonus when you have anyone, player or NPC with you. But I also summon... These NPCs I summon all have a quest line, which you can only advance by fighting bosses with them. Unfortunately, this is not a Kinder Surprise adventure things. I've heard those are also very good. But, I mean, actually, technically, you could consider him as such, because not only is he easy, like a Kinder Surprise, he will give me an item that I really, really want. He will also stab me a couple of times. Now, technically I guess I could have applied something to my weapon, but as you can see, I fought this guy way too many times for me to be worried at all about pre-buffs like I did with the demon there. Well, that was a bad idea. I overestimated how much damage I was going to be doing. Come on, come on. There we go. This is what I wanted. Yep, tink, 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 that's the sound of piercing weapons against armor. The ring he dropped is just like this ring, but better. So that's why I did that fight. Now I have a lot of souls to spend. So let us head back to Majula to spend all of them. Well, maybe all of them. I haven't decided yet. But that little pop-up there means I've now gathered everyone to Majula, like I should. Here's our old friend Gilbert, the Scottish guy.
Wait. You found your way out too. The name's Gilligan. Don't make me say it twice. Alright. What do you want? I have everything you need.
The only use he has is
Must
ladders.
have lost your marbles. Fine, sure, fine. I'm happy to be of service. You need a ladder then, but you'll have to show some generosity.
When you buy every ladder here, he gives you a free item, and it helps you in the long run because there's items down here
Hey, this
that you
ladder's
can't
not for
reach
sale.
without it.
The only things I sell are miniatures. Well, a very reasonable, just... Hey,
This is going to help me in the future when I eventually want to go
That's
down the
fine.
pit, but that'll be for a little time
really?
later.
I get... Hey,
And if you remember I said why I bought all that stuff from him before, everything here is a lot more expensive than it was when you found him back in Earthen Peak. That's why I talked to him and got him over here.
here you are, my
Also,
friend.
I wanted his ladders.
You can have these, hey? It's a little bonus, you know, for your big purchase.
When you buy all of his ladders, you get this. It's not a very good weapon.
Don't look so glum.
It looks
I'm
pretty.
trying to be nice here. You're hopeless, I tell you.
Let's see if he has anything more to say to us, though.
Oh, I should have listened to the warnings. This place is flippin' mental. Huh? No, I wasn't born here. I'm from a wee bit. I'm from a wee bit out west. That's all.
West.
I've seen some rough
Corner.
times. I think I'll settle down for a while. You wouldn't believe the shenanigans that happen in my business. I thought at least here in the middle of nowhere, I could stay clear of, you know, my old pals. Oh, don't ask me what happened. Have you no discretion, me old chum? That gaping hole. Well, search me. It's where the people around here toss all their rubbish. Corpses, or you know what. Or whatever they'd rather be rid of. Oh, and those human statues. Who are they supposed to be? Anybody, I suppose. Probably just some old pagan costume. What's it like at the bottom of the hole? I mean, why in the hell would I know? Oh, yeah. Somebody told me that the grave of a saint lies below here. Not built by the king, no. It dated back to a time long before him. The tomb connects to that hole. And there's something about some rat king down there. Hell, if the old rat is as rich as they say, maybe I should go and pay him a visit. Oh, I should have listened to the one.
That's everything from him.
Hi.
So, that's basically everything we need from this guy. He gave us a crappy weapon, he set up some ladders that we'll use in the future, and now let me show you why I wanted to kill the Smelter Demon aside from the whole Lucatio quest thing.
You need armor?
He now sells boss armor. So, and the Smelter Demon armor has the best fire resistance, for the most part, in the game,
Are you sure?
which is basically what you're going to need if you want all those items in the Iron Keep because of all the frickin' fire everywhere. And I believe it also updates this
You've
person,
been long away.
Cloan, I think. I lied, maybe that's later.
You know how they... Well,
I already went
since
through all
long-
that. Alright, there's nothing... Yeah, we can't really get anything useful from this guy, but this is why we're talking to him. I want to keep upgrading. When you upgrade armor, or at least your shields, it increases the stability. Stability, which is that shield icon, is how much stamina you lose when you block a weapon. Obviously, the higher the better. But +3 is good enough for now, until I can actually start to purchase the Titanite I need.
Bearer of... Seek the blessed...
Unfortunately, our lady here doesn't have anything interesting to say for quite some time. Let's see. Yeah, that'll be good. And adaptability again determines how quickly you open, or how quickly you use items, and how quickly you can dodge, or at least the extends the invincibility while dodging, which is why I raised it just a little bit more. We are done with Majula. Back to the old Iron Keep, where I am going to go to a portion. I'm going to head to an optional area that I'm not actually going to go to because it sucks. It sucks something awful, and here's a guy. He's dead. That's useless. Oh, hello. These guys weren't here before. This guy was. And basically, if you don't rush over to and interrupt him, he will knock out a part of the bridge there. And if he does that, well, nothing major, you just have to jump across. Whoop-de-doo. Nice and easy. This room sucks. And this is what I was looking for. I didn't want to do that. Alright, this katana, might as well show it while I'm here, is... Where's the katana? Here it is. It's heavy, but it has, when fully upgraded, the best stat scaling, or dexterity scaling in the game, making it ungodfully potent. I'm not going to be using it. Well, I guess technically I can throw them off. It takes a little finagling that I'm afraid sometimes I just don't want to behave and do so. Oh, they're... Dang it, they changed this! Normally you could... normally there was an item you could reach up here, and they altered it by blocking it off. That is crap. Oh well. Alright, this location right here takes me to a PvP area. I'm not going to be doing it because I refuse to go to these areas online. Because I'm not good at PvP, as if the fact I got my ass kicked by those NPCs a few times didn't show that off enough already. So that is an optional area, 100% optional, nothing really useful, so I'm ignoring it in order to stab this guy in the face. And miss entirely. Yeah, especially now, Adventurous Things, because in... Damn it! Damn it! Especially now, Adventurous Things, because you can get up to, rather than 2 NPCs, or 2 invaders, you can get 5. So there can be 6 people fighting in the same area. And that puts you at a significant disadvantage at those places, unfortunately. Alright, let's not die, he says as he starts to die. Yeah, the online aspects I'm really not a huge fan of. I mean, on one hand, it makes some things kind of amusing or interesting, but on the other hand, for places like those PvP areas, it's just such BS that I'm just not even wasting my time with it. When I clear those areas, I'm going to when I clear the area, I'm just going to go offline like I always do, so I can do it unmolested. If you mean do you mean Adventurous Things? Do you mean Dark Souls, Dark Souls 2, or Dark Souls Scholar of the First Sin? When you ask which is more difficult. Because this is... That works! Ow. Oh, come on! Really? I would have to say between Dark Souls, which is more difficult, I would put it on Dark Souls 2 when it comes to unfair fights, and Dark Souls 1 when it comes to fair fights. Oh, there used to be a crystal lizard here. Oh, there he is. Ow. Okay, that is a pleasure plate. I do not want to touch it. I got stuff. Okay, bye. And what I mean by that is basically Dark Souls 2 is harder because there's a lot of unfair encounters, like how I keep getting bum rushed by all these Alan Knights, for example. That is not a difficulty curve because they're difficult to fight, it's a difficulty curve because I really shouldn't have done that. Because when you get rushed by that many guys, they're just a ouch pain in the butt to deal with. Okay, where's the... Here it is. Now that doesn't necessarily make... I mean, I don't think it's a bad game because of it. But the way they throw the encounters at you does make me feel a little iffy, if you know what I mean. They have... And yeah, the whole telegraphing system that the game has, there are a lot of long wind-up attacks that, unfortunately, or annoyingly, I guess would be a... Ah, crap, I activated both of them. The way they telegraph and then will do like a 180 attack and hit you anyway is complete and utter bull. There was some of that in Dark Souls, but there's more of it here. Like, for example, one of the more annoying things, like, this place wasn't anywhere near as bad as it is here. Even though there were enemies that were similar on these little platforms, they'd at least let you... They'd sit there and try and pepper... That was a bad idea. Like this guy, for example. Hi. Yeah, unfortunately, the only real way to fight multiple opponents in this game is when you have giant, wide-swinging weapons like the Zweihanda and the Hello! The Hello is not an actual weapon, but there should... normally there is a treasure chest up here, which is why I'm wondering why there isn't. Did they move it over there or something? Oh no. Oh, that's irritating. Oh well, continuing on. But yeah, like for example, for someone like me who's basically committed almost entirely to piercing weapons, the swarms that this game throws at you really suck. No lock, there's no mimic here. Okay. What the heck? Oh, that's amusing. For an example, right there, adventurer. You saw him do that giant wind-up, and it still would have come right down on me. Well, shit. I got nothing to say there. Eh. Oh, that sucked. So, once again, we have to... Yeah, sadly, the knockback is a killer. I shouldn't have had my back to the edge like that. But that NPC was not in the game previously. So now we have to make that run, once again, unfortunately. He doesn't get the souls, but I will if I want them back. Oh, crud. But I will need to run back and get them. But this means I need to get all these guys once again. Alright, let's see if I can do this real quick. And... will that work? No, it didn't. Oh, that didn't work quite as well as hoping. Yeah, honestly, Bloodborne, in my opinion, did... Really? Bloodborne did invasion mechanics properly, as they are entirely opt-in, rather than rather than having to deal with just a random person coming in and ruining your game, like in Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2. In fact, the only areas with PvP in Bloodborne are very, very specifically, damn it, PvP areas. Like, once you enter it, you know that there's PvP. God! Is that guy hitting me? Like... Of course, then you have instances like this. In case you're wondering, yes, that arrow did just curve to hit me. Because that's what this game does, unfortunately. But okay, so that guy should now be dead. Yes, he is. I'm ignoring all of these because I don't want to deal with them. And let's go get my souls. Luckily, those chubby guys can't climb ladders. Oh, right, I forgot about these guys. There. Alright, let's see if that guy is going to attack me again. Yep, apparently I have to... no, they do not. My attacks, unfortunately, do not. Unlike theirs, because that would be fair if mine could home in. Well, at least I can stun lock this guy with my spear. So that's worth a little something. I'm not taking any chances with that guy. There we go. Jerk. Yeah, in fact, your weapons don't home in so much that a lot of the bigger weapons, like ultra greatswords, if well, you have to get lucky to actually get a hit in with them, and it's kind of crud when that happens. There's probably going to be a lot of crap over here waiting to kill me. Yes, there is. Alright, so I'm going to I have to poison this guy. There we go. That's one cheese down. I wish I didn't actually have... Well, technically I don't have to, but I'd rather not have to spend so much time fighting these guys. God! And then once I kill this guy, there's only one guy left. I need to buy more arrows. There we go. And now this one. And before... Oh! Oh, there's a chest. That's me accidentally parrying that stuff, and I am gonna go see what the dogs are barking at one more time. It should be safe up here, which means I'm probably gonna get invaded. So I'm gonna hold on one moment, please. And I still much prefer cats, because they don't start barking and being annoying for no reason at all. In fact, if a cat started barking, I'd be a little confused. But let's... Ooh, that's a nice one. It's not a weapon I'm going to use, but it's a nice weapon. Alright, we're going to do what this game does best. Platforming. Because there is a couple of items. I don't think they're very useful if memory serves me properly, but I will not let any item go ungrabbed. You can play as an archer, Dark Daedalus, as in Dark Souls 1 and 2. I'll admit it's harder in Dark Souls 2, but overall, dex builds are... For PvP, dex builds are superior because all katanas are dex specific, and most of the katanas are pretty overpowered. That's not to say there's anything wrong with strength, but strength is more PvE and dexterity is more PvP. And the only thing with problem with playing as an archer is you need to buy arrows, and arrows cost a lot of souls, or at least they're the cost rises really, really quickly. Like, for example, my character is a dex build, as if my, stats didn't prove that for you. But so there's really nothing wrong with dex builds, but they just require a little bit more finesse. But they are pretty much more PvP focused than anything. Oh, right. The worthless thing. Alright, now if I don't screw this up, I am going to... I forgot to put on my right ring. No! No, 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 no. There we go. So, yeah, I mean, I've played pretty much every build under the sun, except Archer, because I don't like spending so many souls on things just to do damage. There we go. Now, I don't need to go that way, as I am near the cutoff point and near the end of this dungeon. I believe I've grabbed everything there is to grab, so I should be good in that department, which means something's probably going to fall out of the sky and kill me right about now. I lied. But yeah, if I get to the boss here, then I will have killed a total of 3 bosses this run, and that'll be a good record. This thing will insta-kill you if you get hit with it, but it can also insta-kill this guy if I keep him in place. Haha! Perfect. And by the way, you can kill yourself by bumping those spikes. And the reason I'm ignoring that item is because we are going up here. This is the last bonfire in this area. That's a lot of fire. Okay, that is new. That wasn't there before. Yeah, whenever there's PvP areas, I always turn it off because... no. So, final bonfire. This will grant us more access to pretty much everything in the Iron Keep because it shuts off all that annoying flame. But before I do anything, I have a lot of souls, again. So let's go on a small shopping trip before we fight the final boss of the area. Here's our old buddy, Macduff. How you doing, Macduff? How you doing? So let's see, yeah, I want a new bow, and I want... like, for example, if you were gonna play an Archer Dark Daedalus, you would have to be you would be doing this a lot. You would need a ton of arrows. And yeah, that's a good even a number. Alright, and some large Titanite. So let's see, what is my bow at? My bow is +5. So, yep, bows... yep, longbow's better than this current bow, so... yoink! There we go! Gonna check if there's anything else I can do with Majula real quick. Yeah, the only thing I don't like about turning off the... going offline so you don't get invaded is then you don't get to see bloodstains and messages and anything like that, and that's one of the things I like. I like these little messages. I like having all that stuff there, and it makes me sad that I have to basically avoid all of it because I just don't want to be arsed with people invading me. And that is everything there, so let's head to the final boss of the area. And that's why I say Bloodborne did it properly, because you can't get invaded except for specific areas, and when you complete quests, some of them lead you to PvP covenants, and those covenants are what you can slot in order to become PvP active. I probably shouldn't have upgraded. Oh well. And that's honestly a preferred method of doing it, in my opinion. Oh, I can't trick this guy anymore? That sucks. Alrighty. Now it's just a short hop, skip, and a jump. And once again, we are going to go human, see if there's any NPCs that they might have added. Oh, got some summon signs. That's a player. That's also a player. So, no companions for me. And welcome to the old Iron King. Not a difficult boss, but very, very annoying and very loud! I completely forgot about that hole. I completely forgot about that hole. Okay, so hole boss 1, me 0. In other words, how to embarrass yourself on a stream. 101. Fall into a hole that you can easily avoid. Okay, let's try that again. Since we know there's no one to summon, I can just stay as a hollow and not worry about anything. Let's see, give myself a little... Oh, I don't have any fire defense. Okay. A little extra defense just in case. And let's not fall off the edge this time. Oh! Normally he sits there waiting for you. That's what I was trying to do. You know, they might have actually made this guy easier, because normally that flame breath that he keeps doing shoots across the entire arena. And it appears to no longer be the case. And he's down. Such fight, much difficulty. Wow. Where's all the sublime bone dust? Normally you'd get bone dust after every boss, or every old one, like this guy. And I got a petrified something instead? That's weird. Okay, this area back here, this is the DLC area. I'm afraid I'm not going to be visiting that for quite some time. Because not only is it difficult, but, well, it's difficult. Actually, Dark Daedalus, in Dark Souls 2, you can get invaded when you're undead. But basically, it's effectively, if you are human, you are the top priority on the invasion list. And when you die, you're basically at the bottom of it. So it can still happen, but it's a lot more rare. Instead of it's a lot more rare, because it has happened to me before. But yeah, in Dark Souls 1, when you were hollow, you couldn't be invaded. But in here, it's possible, and it
The
sucks.
soul and the curse are one and the same.
Now we have new dialogue.
Your soul has grown stronger still. I only hope it brings you what you wish. That tiny thing inside the room, an ancient being that will mock your very existence. She imparts sound wisdom, provided you find her honor. The sign you bear, and with...
Okay, nothing else from her, so let's level up. Give myself some carrying capacity, some more health, that's good. And I believe the NPCs now have something new to say to me.
You've been long. Well,
Yep, now she sells unlimited Titanite, but she also sells me Titanite shards.
you know how they call...
Nothing else new from you.
Since long. Oi!
Yes, that's basically everything that I wanted to do here. So the next step is I have two paths to go to continue the game. I can either go down into the gutter, or the hole in the ground which leads to the gutter, or I can head to a really evil place, which is in that direction. I'm thinking... I've pretty much always saved this area for last because it really sucks. So, we're gonna go this way, and I'm gonna stop when I get to the first bonfire. Or I guess I should say the bonfire of the section. Oh, I don't need the item discovery ring on. I'm not farming. There we go. Now, before, this is where our buddy Bernhardt was. Evidently, he's moved on because I talk to him a lot, because he needs a friend. Who doesn't? Clear these guys out. There we go. I have no idea if this is going to do anything, but... Equip. Here we go. This looks like there's something over there, so... There was not. That was a waste of a firebomb. Oh, there's an item in here. And that guy's stuck in a wall. Can't believe I've been here a couple of times and I never picked that up. Oh, that's the basilisk. He's not a threat. Alright, now, before anything else, we have to get loot. Because, as Outstar would say, loot is love and loot is life, and I really needed that shard. That's the bonfire, so that's me missing a jump. There we go. That's a dude. He wasn't here before. But he was guarding some mediocre items. Alright, are you guarding anything that I find useful? I completely forgot to level up those spears that I just got to see if they were any good. Well, I'll be heading back to town in a sec anyway. That's a bloodstain. Oh, this place was kind of desolate. If that was directed at me, Adventure Things, I would say yes, because I used to have it. Or I guess if you want to be technical, I might still. I'm not 100% certain on that. I just hit my knuckles again, that hurt. Alright, first things first. Before any upgrading...
Here, to see, however.
I need to upgrade my Estus Flask. Yay! You're useless now. For now, anyway. Yeah, so there's those couple of spears I wanted to look at. Let's see, I grabbed Pates and a pike. The pike doesn't look that good, but Pates, on the other hand... might actually be fairly decent, now that I think about it.
I'll be around.
This is probably complete and utter overkill. But... this is also probably a very bad idea. But let's look at these stats. Heavier, but a lot more damage. And this is very long. You know, now that I spent all those souls on it, this is probably gonna end up being pretty crappy, but I care not. I have a really long spear, and I wonder if this can be upgraded to anything. Nah, I'm not really digging the damage upgrade on that. Oh well. Well, since I have so many souls, let's grab one more level. Yep, one more level's all I'm gonna get. Alright, I'm gonna stab something real quick, and then... yep, we are heading to the Shaded Woods. First I want to test out my new spear. Alright, new spear test. Where's... was there something in this? No, there wasn't. Ah, here we go. Huh. 240 versus... well then. Oops. Didn't mean to unequip that. So 400 damage. I can live with that. So we'll see how well this spear does me. But it looks like we might have a long-lasting relationship. But yeah, that's gonna... before I continue into this next area,